Okay.
I'm sure I don't look that good because I slept I think I slept an hour maybe.
No, you look pretty fresh, man. Alessandro, I just gonna introduce you and then I wanna let you talk because last week we talked before your ayahuasca experience. I mean, you did it yesterday. And yeah, I just wanna know now because I have a dream with you last night. I was dreaming that we were kind of like a building, and then I was waiting like at the top of the building, and I was telling Alessandro, let's go down, and you were like, no, wait, and you had to put your face in something, kind of like, I don't know, it was like a pillow. Wait a second. and then
It was me, man.
It was you?
It was me.
No way. Wait a second. No, it's so man.
I was in your dream, man.
Wow, that's amazing.
And not only in yours. Sorry, man. I'm just. It's unbelievable, man.
And then we took the thing down, and we ended up in Japan for some reason. So I don't know. But I mean, it was kind of like I don't know. I felt like it was a city or something, but.
No, it wasn't a city. Like I was. Like I met you.
In the dream?
No, it wasn't the dream. It was the reality, man.
In the reality.
It was my reality. So real. Can't even imagine how real is that, man. To the point that the reality that we know is not real.
It's not real.
Like I dream of you. I experienced you. I met you, and I met some other friends, and I hug you tightly, all of you, because one of the most powerful thing of this experience is the love that I felt from our Creator.
Wow.
It's just unbelievable. I never felt something like this in my life. And I was scared, to be honest, in the beginning, because after taking the ayahuasca, 20 minutes later, you starting having nausea, and it's such a bad feeling because you feel like you're dying, but then it switched completely, and you just, like, I can't describe it because you're starting having these visions as well, like to the a point I was hugging the sun. I was so big that I was able to hug the sun. And this is actually sounds crazy, but it was actually real. And then breathing, because I was breathing and I was so peaceful, I was breathing and I could hear my breathing through the entire universe.
Wow.
Man, it's just mind-blowing. It's just, and trust me, man, like, it's just, I can't describe it, you need to try it, because the love that I felt, not even apparent, and I believe ayahuasca is a spirit, even though at the end of the ceremony I talked to the shaman. They were so beautiful and they took care of me so much. So basically what happened when you drink it and you start to feel bad after 20 minutes, but then everything like switched, and it's just, some people also say, oh, maybe it's just my experience, but I didn't feel like high or anything.
Yeah.
I just had some patterns constantly in my eyes. I met so many people during my journey, including you. And I was the cushion that you're talking about was the cushion that I was hugging.
Oh,
and I was like...
but it was
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I can't describe because it's just, I met, and that's what I was saying before, sorry, I lost that, because I think it's the Creator, but then after talking to the shaman said, look, everyone believed that the first time, but it's a spirit that guides you through the universe. There are so many spirits and that makes sense. You know why it made sense? Because this Creator that I like to call Creator is actually a feminine spirit. I could feel that it was a female spirit. And she gave me so much love, man, that I was so incredibly, like, free of everything, because during this journey as well, she took me to the universe. She took me to the solar system as well. And she took me to the solar system, and we went back to, we were near the sun. Yeah. And I was saying to her, because this is all telepathically, because we weren't talking. Yeah. Telepathically, I was saying, but Mother Ayahuasca, because I have these things in my life, this and this. Every time I was saying that, she was like, shh, just look.
We're in the universe.
She was like, just look. This goes beyond what you actually think life is. And I did it for, I think, 3 or 4 times, because I was like, and it was probably my ego, but my ego loss was so beautiful. It's not like I heard so many stories of like frightening things, but my one was so beautiful, because for 3 or 4 times I was saying to Mother Ayahuasca, but Mother Ayahuasca, I got also this in my life and telepathically she was saying, just look. And I was looking. Whoa. And then again, I was starting again, saying to her, this is so beautiful and I felt so much love, but what about, I have this thing in my life that I'm not sure if I'm doing well. Boom, that disappeared completely, like my fear, I became the universe. Man, it's so real, and is real, because we actually are that. Uh-huh. We are that.
We are just inside this carcass.
And I tell you something, like during the ceremony, because it's not about that you are unconscious, you are actually conscious, very conscious, more conscious than the consciousness. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at my hand during the ceremony, I was looking around and look at this brother and sister like singing for me and protecting me. Every once in a while the shaman was saying, everything okay? And he was putting this feather on my hand. And he was like, and I was looking at my hand, and in that very moment I realized that I'm actually, the consciousness is a global consciousness, mm-hmm. and my hand is just a body.
It's just it's everywhere. The consciousness.
It's everywhere. And another realization that I had, man, is that it's just like the mind. A lot of people believe is so powerful. The mind is so powerful. The mind is nothing. The mind is nothing, man.
So what you refer to the mind is?
The mind is an organic thing, in my opinion, through my journey, because the mind, the brain, and what we experience in life, everything, is just a form. What rules the universe is actually the consciousness that is pure love. And this is what I can't still explain right now. Yeah. How is possible that the creator of the universe and the consciousness that is alive through all beings is just so much loving? So, and this goes beyond, because then you think, oh, so then who created all of this? It's just unbelievable.
And when you say, because the amount of love, I'm just talking from my perspective, I never done anything. So it is kind of like once you look
compassionate, and she was so gentle, because you know why? At a certain point, I believed it was too much, the love that I was feeling, and she slowed it down for me. And it was compassionate, because I wasn't aware that so much love could exist. And she was slowing down. And then I became a little bit more, but so, and she was so compassionate, this spirit, so compassionate, so kind. And I believe it was the creator, even though like I talked to Yana, I said, there are so many spirits. Ayahuasca is one of my favorite. And, in her journey, for example, she was into another planet with this beautiful man-made. And that's another thing as well. Like when we say another planet, another life, it's just about dimensions. It's not about actually physical planets.
Okay.
Because like when you enter that state, it's hard to describe, but you don't have the concept of time and space. You see these strings, of dimensions, and you can actually
travel in between
them.
And so what do you mean dimensions is, say if you move to another dimension, what do you see there? It's like another, say like a planet like us, or...
For dimension, I mean, even where we are right now, is just a dimension, but it's not that we need to travel so far away to find the other's dimension. It's actually already here.
It's already here, because it's time and space doesn't exist.
It's already here. And another thing I realize of this journey is that I have now, I don't know if it's going to last, because probably, ayahuasca ceremony is something that it gives you the answer and then it will wind off. But what I realize is that there is something that created us as humans, but above that, there is a consciousness that is always alive, and it will be always alive.
It doesn't
forever.
This is just what we are now. Like, I'm thinking, I have a question, but like now, what is your perspective on time now? Like, that you fresh from it, what do you think about time?
Time, man, that's a beautiful question. Like, for me, like beforehand, I had this technical view of things like time is passing, we're gonna die, we're gonna be dust, everything is finishing. But now, for me, time is an illusion. Not an illusion in a bad way. It's actually a human concept.
Our body sort of like...
Yeah, it's a human concept. Because even... For example, there is a psychological time and there is for example, a clock time. For example, the watch that we have is just, it doesn't go by itself through the force of nature. We actually created it.
Yeah, it is kind of like a mechanical device.
Yeah, the time that is passing is a human concept.
Yeah.
So we're getting old, that's fine, but it's the form, it's the human form. Time is just, is different everywhere in the universe, and I think DMT is just the answer to everyone who is struggle with finding what the true meaning of life is. I think everyone should do it.
And I'm one that I'm struggling away. And I know that I mean, all this stuff, as much as I like to do things, it is, I mean, I haven't had an experience like that, but I can see myself. I don't know how this conflict, when I was sort of like a kid, I used to think that we are moving, doing stuff, but like if you take every single thing, like say you take the microphones away, camera or everything, and you see them from above, we just us talking, and it's doing things. If it was everything invisible, like all this material stuff was invisible, with just people moving around, I don't know. But I don't know what is the purpose of doing things that we're doing here. What is it?
The purpose for me, the purpose why we are alive here is because, if you experience suffering or if you experience happiness, is both a good thing.
Yeah.
Because the consciousness is traveling through forms like us, and it's a kind of experience that is like
comes and goes,
and it's actually, for me, life now is a beautiful journey. Everything like I experienced before, I take it now as a just it was beautiful.
Yeah,
because it's like I'm here now.
It's kind of like a learning. I have this thought when I was going with Noah to the shopping, and I was like thinking about how we sometimes say, I wish I never done this, or I wish I knew this when I was 20 or whatever. And for me, it kind of like, for some reason, comes the will of life into me, like say relationship, money, career, every single thing. And it's kind of like I have a feeling that all the stuff that we have, it happened to us. It feels like it is a way that you had to go through, because otherwise you won't learn it. I mean, if you say, I wish at 20 I didn't do this, but I was like, kind of like, it's just part of the way you had to learn. I mean, if you don't encounter that, you probably didn't need it to learn. I don't know.
You make me a little bit smile. You know why? Because it's incredible how, like, you're talking of human things, when at this stage, for me, like, the human experiences for me is meaningless. It's just incredible, because now you talk about some wise thing about life in terms of human form.
But it's just...
For me, right now, what I just heard, and maybe might change over time, but it's just meaningless. Because I'm going to go back to my everyday life, but I have this knowledge now, this knowledge that guides me.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we say, career and job and stuff, it's just a human thing.
Yeah, it's just to... it is... I mean, for me, it's like, I know that because if you look ourselves, we're talking now, but if you keep zooming out of wherever we are, and the further you look at it, we don't see ourselves. So all our stuff, all our effort, even this, is kind of like a way only to store it somewhere, but it's already there. I don't know. I believe that's very wise, and I believe also the human form. Maybe it wasn't the creator of the universe that made us. Maybe some other aliens that they made this matrix for us. Yeah. And if you wanna really experience what actually you are, you need to go beyond that. And I had the chance, I had the luck to go. Yeah. And it's just, we live in our bodies, and someone maybe is controlling, is controlling even the society where we live, the governments and whatever, the weather. But at the same time, there is a force beyond that. It's just incredibly loving and so caring, man. So caring, because I was like this, and I was saying to my friends, I felt so much love in this. I just, and the shaman was saying, I know, is everything real? That's the reality. We live in a matrix. This is the reality. Because I was feeling like I was hugging the sun. The sun is so massive, and I was bigger than the sun. I was bigger, and only the sun. Then I got excited. I hugged the sun, and then I went back to planet Earth, and I started to look every single one of you. And what do you see? What do you see?
Just human's form, because I was in a human form in that very stage. So what I did, I just hugged you tightly, and me, and. I could see you, many people, I hugged so many people, and I could see that you guys were doing the same thing I was doing to Mother Ayahuasca. You were saying to me, but what it's all about, and I was, no, shh. It's just incredible, the love, it's just... We are there, the universe.
We don't need to find anything, because we are ready. Do you think, I don't know, this planet Earth, it is, imagine you in jail for 90 years, and they let you go out, and then for one day, and then you experience whatever life, if you've been in jail for 40 years or whatever, and then they bring you back in. It's kind of it's probably our human form is kind of like a prison for us, or something that we...
It's a prison as long as we don't experience what beyond that, what stay beyond that. Even myself, even through meditation, for example, we talk a lot, and that's why before I said, you can meditate, but maybe only a few people at this very moment in the world experience what I experience. Without DMT. And you need to be very in line with the universe, which is at the moment for humans it's impossible.
Yeah, it's kind of like resolving I don't know, mathematical
Yes.
equation that we don't have the capacity,
Yes, we don't.
the intelligence to do it. But we can...
Intelligence, or I don't know if I would call it intelligence, because also intelligence is a human thing. Like it's just, I think it's a realization, or the fact that, like, for example, I experienced DMT all started, if you remember, when we were talking in front of your fridge with about meth. Like, we watched that documentary, and then we started talking, and then I got researches, and I knew already about it. But you know, when you feel the call, it's just, I need to do that because I have so many questions. I have so many doubt, and
but now all
this ego
all disappear for you in a way. Like
absolutely. Now, you see, ego for me was a big issue. A big issue in terms of I need to fight it, because sometimes it's just ruining my life. But the ego is is meaningless. Right now, I see it. It's just, I see it as
it's nothing. It's
like the human mind and the body is like nothing. And that's why when you have the realization, you just think, whoa. So when there is something wrong around me, it's fine. I mean,
so what do you think
I'm free.
What do you think about, or if you have any, I mean, regarding like now how we're doing it too? Because I have this feeling that what we're doing to the world, like if it's everything is a matrix, and we cut down the Amazon and burn it down, it still is a matrix, or is it a real thing, or
unfortunately, is a matrix, and human consciousness is every single human being on this planet has the consciousness. Even the most evil person, he has a beautiful alive consciousness behind. What makes the people evil is just the not realization of what they are. Not that they are evil, their consciousness is evil. You know, where that's a revolution. That's a thing that everyone has to experience. The fact that humans, for me, after this journey last night, is just a meaningless thing. And the consciousness, I had that doubt. I had so many researchers I didn't, and so many people believe the same thing when they do DMT. They just think, oh wow, we are the universe after I do, and it's so true and it's so real. It's so real. Because, like as I said before, like what we see in the world is just an unconsciousness, activities of people who think they are forms only. When you think you are only a form, you're like a...
You compete to...
Yes.
To satisfy, sort of like, you think, okay, this is me, and whatever I do to gain more for me is something that is kind of like the game.
I don't even call it ego, because I believe ego, once again, after last night, ego for me is even...
nothing.
Is nothing. So I believe just, you know, humans, they suffer, you know, they have this war and they kill people. It's just, but the reality of things is that the consciousness that runs through us, even through this microphone, these glasses, this table, everything has a consciousness. Is conscious, but maybe we are more conscious. There are some sort of form they are less conscious. But in reality, everyone has a consciousness, even the most evil person in the world. So what we're seeing is just a not realization, in my opinion.
Realization of the truth.
Of the truth. It's unbelievable.
How? Because
it's just unbelievable.
I mean, I'm thinking now, you know, the role, for me, what I see as evil now is, you know, governments or corporations or people who only thinking, you know, first on profit, but at the same time no having that feeling for anything else. It's like,
yeah, they are driven by an unconscious mind. Let's call it mind, because mind is very human.
Yeah, it's kind of like creative for and yeah, it's crazy, man, because
Man, it's unbelievable. Like I think once you have this realization, I forgot to tell you also that I did 2 sips of this ayahuasca, and obviously the visions were very much incredible. And the first sip, actually, I had this loving mother of nature, which was loving me so much, and she told me, you are protected, like you are everything. So why would you just worry about things? Because I was saying to that like 3 or 4 times, and that was my ego, I know that. I said, yeah, but you know,
I want to know.
no, I said, yeah, but you know, I was pointing it because heart was over there. I was like, but in my, life, I have this and that. She was like, telepathically, she was just saying to me, just look and experience. And I was experienced. I was, whoa. And then I was like, yeah, but this is so beautiful, but what about my... And she was keep saying, just enjoy who you are. Yeah. And I was like, this is so real and simple. It's so simple.
Yeah. I'm thinking, I feel like it would be, how they put fluoride in the water for us. How about we put DMT in the water and everybody...
Man, that would be like...
But I wonder if, some people who are not prepared. I mean, I'm seeing myself
Everyone
as a
should be
person prepared, but I don't know if you have that really evil personality. If you do it, it would be a really...
I believe... No, as I said before, May, and I'm pretty confident on saying this because I'm pretty confident to say that even the evil form of humans is nothing. Man, it's nothing.
Okay.
And that's what I was leading before to the second sip, because all of this was the first sip. I had the second one after about, I don't know, because I couldn't know the time, but a long time. I could say 50 years maybe. After 50 years, I got the second sip. And the second sip, it was an experience very frightening. It was frightening because I couldn't explain. Like, I was looking for her. Yeah. Obviously, I puked because I did it a few times. After you do 20 minutes, you're sweating cold, and it's such a bad feeling. But there was only even on the first one, because you feel like if you die, it's such a bad. And then the difference between the first and the second is that the second, I just was looking for her, and she wasn't there. I was like, yeah, and I was lost. Yeah. And I was lost so much.
And what you could see that you were scared of? Like, I mean, it was...
I wasn't anymore in the universe. I was in this darkness. But this darkness was so frightening because it gave me the feeling of fear, but I can't explain how. Yeah. And something happened after that. There was, again, so loving. The shaman knew exactly when I needed him. It's unbelievable, because when I was there in bed and I repeat, very conscious of what was happening in this darkness, the shaman, once he touched me with the feather and he said, hey, everything is fine, was, whoa, thank you so much. Because I was frightening. Yeah. He knew exactly when to come. Yeah. And this is as well, May, is a beautiful realization, because then you think, so we are in this darkness, and the shaman knows, they know exactly when they are already there. We don't need to seek. We don't need to search for them. They know.
Yeah. Because it's everywhere.
And it's incredible, because then on the second experience, then I pretty much, the first one, I just was the most enlightened, happy, incredible. The second one was the opposite, but the end of the second was same as the first. So that's why it's so beautiful, because then the second one, it was frightening, but I had the realization at the end that I don't need to look for Mother Ayahuasca because she was always there for me.
Yeah.
And this darkness is just, you need to fight with it. You need to just let it go. Yeah, just let it go of your fear.
Yeah.
And that's what happened, because at the end of the second, I was slow. And I was kept repeating after all the effects wind off. Obviously, I was just repeating to the guys, I felt so much love. It's incredible. I can't explain even in words. Imagine a mother with his child multiply 10 trillions. It's just incredible, man.
We just experience probably as humans like a glimpse here and there.
It's not even a glimpse. Just, I think you need to try that, because like to understand that you are part of the universe and someone out there.
So what is you? This one, because it's in. What is your perception now regarding? I know that now how you said that every single thing is, minuscule to everything we created. So religion, what is the part? I mean, are they in the right track, saying that of course, believing that something created us is the truth.
Yes,
it's something that I believe too. No, but how far are they with what they believe?
It's a beautiful question. Man. It's a beautiful question, and in my journey, you remember what I said before? I said there are very few people on planet Earth which has the ability and the perception of notice that there is something bigger. Yeah. A lot of people believe, okay, I need to go to work, I need to go and buy shopping, I need to go back in my home, feed my family, which is everything so beautiful. But very few people knows that it's not only this. There is so much love above this that you can actually then transmit to the people you know. And then you say, whoa, because what I'm doing, I see it now as what I'm going to do now in my life. It's just a beautiful experience that I'm going to enjoy, because
it's just everything.
Yeah, because everything is in place. Yeah. Because, mate, like, you don't need to suffer anymore, because there is no suffering. Maybe I might talk like this on camera and say maybe in a week time.
This is why I wanted to, because probably in a week time we can talk again, because was my, I was super excited to see you now. Also because I had a dream, this dream with you last night.
And I hugged you, man. It was me.
Amazing.
It was me.
Because I remember, so clearly, and I said, come on, let's go, Alessandro, and you.
My sister, my mother, you, some of my friends.
That's amazing, man. And it's just mind-blowing how, we can, I don't know, through dreams probably we experience a little bit of that. Yes,
I think so. A little bit. Not all of it though. Because like what you experience through that, like a dream, sometimes you have the feeling that, I need to wake up, boom.
Yeah.
That state is just complete surrender. You don't have power over it. You don't have any power. Yeah. There was a few moments where I was feeling like was intense, like peace, love, whatever. But there were a few moments where I was like, whoa, how long I've been here? Like, how long I've been doing this? Like, what am I doing? And how long it's going to last? Yeah.
So, like you said, because if we all are the consciousness.
We are.
So, what we are now, like you and me talking, what is... it's kind of like the consciousness coming from everything and it's just making a dip and then...
No, coming from everything. It's already inside us. Like, for me, like, even in this room, everywhere is conscious. The entire universe. Because that's another thing. Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people believe, and that's another realization that you need to have. Even as a human, you need to think this way in order to go to the next step. You need to understand that the humans is not actually different than planets,
animals,
glasses, table. Once you have the realization, because a lot of people believe, we are humans,
Yeah.
so we are actually so different than what is around us. Look at the planet, the stars. We are meaningless. We're nothing.
But we are that.
We are that. But when I say we are that, not the human form, it's just the consciousness.
It is probably because I'm thinking of why it's the ego, obviously, the thing. We want to be all different, no?
Ego is just...
Yeah. So this is why we want to be all different. So once you say...
ego is a friend.
We are everything. Yes, but like our ego is saying, I don't want to be everything, because this is the thing for me, like sometimes it saddens me in a way that any action that I take as a human, like my body, it always has effect on, because we do it just because of our needs, we need to eat. So even sometimes, vegetarian, vegan, whatever, but still, you eat a vegetable and you still cutting that life form, but at the same time you say you're not cutting anything because it's all
to create it, to destroy.
Yeah,
there is a saying, to create is to destroy.
Yeah,
means that when you create, you destroy something.
But this is only change shape in the material world, but then this consciousness is still
alive.
It's not
alive, and that's what the most beautiful realization is. Not that human form dies. Maybe our consciousness, when our physical form will die, will go, I don't know, in another dimension. So we're going to be something else, a microphone, glasses. But when you realize that you are that, not the physical body, you are free.
Yeah.
And everyone should experience this. Imagine if a world with all the politicians will have ayahuasca, DMT.
You should probably force them.
It's just because everything changes.
Yeah.
Because it will be such a much better world.
Yeah.
It will be a world where, because it's a closed world. Yeah. So what we do into the planet, is incredibly evil. Because we are all on this vessel together, and just we can live without what we're doing if we want to. Yeah. But unfortunately, me and you, we don't have power over that. Obviously, people has to, on a higher rank, they have to have the realization. And maybe it will happen, maybe it will happen. In 20 years' time, maybe it will be a world where we just the reign of peace and love without...
Because, coming from... obviously we don't have control. The person that you saw, that you said it was your creator, but it was a spirit, it has some control, or it can have a control over anything, because, with a flick of a finger, probably it can, say, okay, everybody has this experience without having the ayahuasca. I don't know. It's interesting to see how...
if this entity has a power over us, you see,
how it's like,
yes, but in a so much loving way, man. Because when you go and do these things, I had fear. My heart was racing, and I was thinking, what about if I'm gonna just frighten out? What about if I did something wrong and I'm gonna just, I don't know what is gonna happen. I was so frightening. But then, man, it's just pure love, and it's so pure that whenever you try and say something about your life that it doesn't work, whatever, it's just it shuts you in a super gentle, loving way. Just say, no, it's not there, it's here, and that. I tried. That was the most incredible thing for me. That I was trying hard. I was trying hard to convince my mother of the universe that what it was important was actually my, I don't know, life or whatever.
It's like, no.
It's just maybe she was like mentally. She was saying, maybe you don't understand yet. Just come. For 3 or 4 times it happens, I remember.
And it's like you say, now we are meaningless and it's probably that
in the
because
form.
in the form like of this. I mean, I can have a feeling of this is why sometimes we trying to find the meaning of life as the meaning of living on this planet, no? But it's no, I'm assuming it's no like, okay, this is what you had to do on Earth. I mean, I probably would be the best you can be. I don't know, it can be one of the options, no? It's still...
Yeah. Anyway, it's just...
So what will be the steps now for you? Like, I mean, tomorrow you're getting back to reality in a way.
Hey, wait. I say the same thing to the shaman after my ceremony. You know what he said to me? You know what he said? I say exactly the same thing. Because my human form was thinking that. And I said to him, oh, time to go back to reality. And he said, Alex, where you going? Oh, right. It was like, you know what that means? Reality...
It's an illusion.
Is not this.
It's not this.
It's not this.
Okay.
This is the human form reality. Yeah. That's what he said to me. Alex, where are you going? Okay. Gotcha. You're right.
Okay, so yeah, reality.
And that's another push of, and there was another push of so much love, even that little word. Mm-hmm. Because then I was already stepping out of that realization, and he got me already back in my consciousness. It was like, no, now you can go. And I was like, whoa. I hugged him. Thank you. It's just...
And so...
As I said, it's indescribable. Even the visions that I have, like I can't even put on paper, like geometric things and these colors and these... The sounds were very...
It's like music or...
It's just surrounding me. I couldn't I didn't have the ears. Like the sound was everywhere. And also another thing very powerful is that there was a moment where I saw myself, the eyes, this human form eyes. I had another eye that was looking through my eyes.
Another eye. So it's probably the third eye that they talk, or...
Yeah, I don't know, but I could see it. That was me, actually. And that lasted not much, and it was another beautiful feeling that I was looking through my eyes. Like...
It's like looking through a camera.
Yeah, because some people think, okay, you look with your eyes. In that moment, I was looking... From somewhere outside the human eyes. And I feel that is the real...
but it's not Alessandro.
No, Alessandro.
Because Alessandro is
that's what I was saying as well. You see, that I sleep sometimes, still. I sleep sometimes. I say, oh, there was the real eye, and then I stop. Because I know there is no Alessandro there. It's just the consciousness, mate.
It's always awake.
Mate, it's unbelievable. You need to do that because it's such a realization of life. It's incredible, man.
And it's one of the things that I say to you when we were downstairs. That I say, what's the next step? And you say, there's no steps.
There is no more steps.
Yeah. Like, I mean, for me, it was like, what I was meaning probably was like, what is the next step for you? Like,
in the spiritual journey.
Now you experience that, are you thinking, okay, I need to do it again?
Spreading the love and trying to convince as many people to like, not even doing that.
Yeah.
You don't have to go psychedelic DMT, but at least give them knowledge as much as I can.
Yeah.
As much as I can. Like even today, I couldn't describe better than that. Like I try hard to describe it, but it's even like it's hard even.
Yeah, because we don't have even saying love. I mean, it's a word. It's like word created by us, but like what experience probably is.
It's just the pure motherly, like kind of It's not even love. It's like a unified, like I don't know, spiritual, like inness, like everything. It's not even love, as you said, like, because it's not, you can't even compare a love or a mother with a child with this, because you feel like you are the sky, and the clouds is just the rest, like you are there. Not the...
Because I think, I feel like our love really is attachment in
it's
a way.
It's a human thing too.
Because you can spend... If you show me the phone once, and I never seen an iPhone, and I'm like, okay, yeah. And then, but I spent 3 weeks with the iPhone, and then, I don't know if it's love, but it's an attachment that you have. But with humans...
Can be love. I think it's love. Yeah.
But with humans, we do the same, no? Like, we only think we love other because we invest our time or whatever it is.
I'm gonna write so much after this. I'm gonna write so much. Like I'm talking about like I wanna write like a book.
Yeah.
I wanna write a book.
That's cool, man. Wow, that's amazing how. It's something that for me, like now, I feel like I need to do something like that eventually, because I know that I can take the steps of meditation and everything, but I don't have a feeling that
I suddenly feel how like the Buddhas, and that's the answer, May, on your question before, because I didn't answer properly. You were talking about religions, you remember, but I didn't answer properly, and that's the answer. The answer is that Buddhas, Jesus, anyone, any spiritual, I believe them, they are spiritual teachers.
Yeah.
At the moment, I believe I'm a spiritual teacher too, but not because I want to put myself up and saying, because I had the realization. Jesus, for example, when he was talking through the Bible, he never said, if you read properly his words and stuff, he was talking about his father, but this father never had a form. His father was everything. And then the Buddha said, okay, say you are unified with this universe. The suffering is just a human thing. Every single religion, maybe some of them not much, some of them more, but every single religion, they had this kind of, maybe like it's like a path. Humans are here, religions maybe
in between.
They between, and some person forms of this religion, they feel this. I was here tonight, May. I was here. This is humans, this is religion, and as I said, there is this spiritual teacher that
they have a glimpse of that.
They glimpses, and probably a lot of them, they also live that way. I was here tonight, May.
Yeah.
I was to the point where I had the realization that if I die tomorrow,
it's not worse, because you just leave this body to decompose, and that's it.
And it's so beautiful, profound, and loving. And then another thing that I want to say is just Western medicine and doctors, and they ran this business of pharmaceutical, and for 50 years maybe more, a little bit more, 60, 70, these kind of medicines, they've been around for thousands of years. So we really need to respect this medicine.
Like actual medicine.
Ayahuasca.
Not like the medicines that we have. I thought you were talking about the pharma.
No.
I was like, oh shit, is that true?
No. We are talking about something that, like,
ayahuasca's been...
You can get an antidepressant, for example. I don't know how that works, but like an antidepressant, I believe it will subside something in you in order to cope with the world. What this actually does is actually the opposite. It gives you all the answers. Everything.
Yeah. You don't need to kind of like... It is kind of like medicine is a way of, like stopping, this fear, anxiety, whatever there, and then you just take something and you kind of like don't see it for a while.
I think so.
But you kind of like with this, you go kind of like beyond that. It's kind of like you just.
I think so. I think so. I never experienced medicine, what they do, like for people who suffers and stuff. But I can see from, like, we can see from the world that, look, how many wars, people suffering and stuff. So, and we are running this thing of pharmaceutical. If that was very effective,
we wouldn't
have a world like this.
The thing is, like, all these things are run, like, for people who are trapped with the mind that all we have is this, like, material world. But even churches are started every day for taxes, for tax purposes. You know, okay, if you have a religious entity, you can, you know, claim tax, and you know, this is why they use the laws created by humans by becoming or overcoming, you know, taking over other humans and animals and plants and everything.
Yeah,
and
it's just so.
This is why kind of like sometimes, you know, I was telling you I'm doing this course, and I know that.
How did it go, by the way? Yes, they were good.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was. Yeah, went well. So, but all of this, when I'm just learning, because I know that every time I learn something, I can have a different perspective.
And that's why you're good on that.
But the thing is, because I know that
you are not trapped like many.
Well,
you want to discover, you want to have the answers as well.
Yeah, I kind of like I want to learn things, because I as I say, I was telling it to my mom. My mom is a Jehovah's Witness, and you know, I have a lot of questions for them, because for me it was like, I say, okay, I like to learn marketing, not because I have bad intention. You know, we see marketing, sales. Oh no, you want to learn that because you can, you know, play with people and just take them.
It's a beautiful journey, man. Do it.
But for me, it's learning it is just to get the knowledge of something that I can see where somebody's trying to use it against me or against other people.
Absolutely.
So, but at the same time, I know that it's, you know, money for me is important, but not as important as my time and freedom. Or again, I say time, and it's something that...
May you say something else now that reminds me something on my journey as well. You talk about money, and I had that question from Mother Ayahuasca as well, because it is a doubt that I had for so long. And please, folks, listen to this, because it's amazing. I asked the Mother of the Universe, I said, in our human form, like we need money because we need to survive. We need to, like, you know what she said to me? Telepathically, she said, see it as the Amazon tribe when they go hunting. Simple. And then you think, Jesus, it's so simple, it's true.
See it as
because everything, and it's true, because you see money as a form of, like, the Amazon tribe, they don't have a society. So they go hunting in order to feed their families.
Yeah.
There is a form of, it's the same.
Yeah, still you going for something. I mean, we use the money just to exchange for things.
And that's what she said to me. And this is another profound realization, because I was like, okay, beautiful, my God. So I can go back to, obviously, this human life, and I can just keep doing what I'm doing with this realization that gives me even more power. She said yes. It's just unbelievable, man. She has the answer for everything. For everything.
And the thing is, money, I was thinking yesterday is, I mean, even today, this morning, I was thinking about money in a way that, because I even am doing some search about businesses that are, you know, like social entrepreneurship and things like that.
Beautiful.
To actually remove money from the, not remove, like transfer money in a way that, you know, I can grab it and use it for a good purpose.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you know, you can teach or share
feeding your family is already a beautiful purpose, man. So when you actually have a family and you getting money, you're already on a good frequency.
Yeah. But at the same time, my feeling is like, I mean, I can't feel.
Don't be afraid, man.
Yeah.
Because what I see from you is that you are afraid of something that, if you do DMT, for example, stuff like ego and stuff, this goes beyond me. She's so loving that you will have all the answers you need.
But sometimes we have to use that money with a good intentions, I believe. I mean,
For sure.
I can go, as I say, get the money, go and buy stuff. But my idea is to go get the money and buy stuff that is actually
Helpful for
either helping the planet or not harming it as much.
So beautiful.
Because
It's so beautiful.
I can probably think maybe I can go and buy something unconsciously, and then you don't thinking, okay, like I said to my mom, I say, she gets sick and she takes pills, and I say, if you believe in your, in your religion and God and everything, actually doing that is an unconscious way of giving your money to the evil to keep doing the same things, because we're using our money to either empower others or destroy others. So I don't know, I was thinking how we should probably live off the land, and
there will be obviously our for me, our true nature is not going to work in a place, for example, where you don't feel happy in the moment. Funny how I say in that moment, because it's like, whoa. Every time I say something that is actually anyway, it's just incredible, because
for what I say, probably it's like, for you now, it's kind of like you go back into talking as a human, and then you feel like I can't say that now.
Yeah, exactly. It's just funny, man. I was saying that go back to work, it's fine doing stuff, but our true nature, you can work as long as people around you have some sort of awakening.
Yeah.
Because then the purpose for them is going to be the same as you. So we go to work, even if it's your boss, if it's your colleagues, whatever. As long as it's a place where is awake in a way, not
it's
totally. Loving place, awake, that doesn't put human evil on it. As long as it's there, it's totally fine, because they have the same purpose of us, because we live in a society where working, unfortunately, is needed in order to survive. And at the same time, because I asked Mother Ayahuasca, that was one of my biggest doubt that I have in my life. I say, but what about if just working is just, do we need to do that? You live in a society where you have to in order to survive, and that's what the Amazon tribes do since thousands of years, because they go hunting to feed their family. It's the same thing, because now the society, for example, doesn't do hunting. You need to go and work for someone in order to create wealth for them, and then that wealth is going to be split between it. It's a different.
It's more steps.
But that's it.
But the same.
Yeah, and that's how you should see it as well, I believe, because.
And now that, before I forget it, because now that you say that, for me, I know that people who have a simpler life, like say people in the Amazon, even in Australia, Aboriginals, once you have less, say you go from hungry to hunting to eating, it's like a simple step.
Yeah.
So you kind of your awareness is, you're more aware of everything because you know the steps. But the problem with us now is like, okay, I go to the supermarket, I buy a tin of something, and I don't know where it's coming from and how many steps behind that. So kind of like we don't have, lose that tipping point, the tick box to say, okay, now this, I hand this, it's coming. I eat a kangaroo. Well, okay, that's a step. So
plants, kangaroo, whatever
it is, and then you will have more like a connection to the things. You will have a direct feeling. But now we are really getting stuff without knowing where it's coming from. It's kind of like, I'm really guilty of that. I'm pretty sort of like trying to be conscious about what I eat and everything, but still every day I find that myself.
The doubt and stuff.
You run out, funny enough, like you don't have enough time, or it's convenient or whatever, and then we make an unconscious decision to buy something that is easy without looking beyond that and say, okay, who is either benefiting from it or it's been hurt. We buy a $1 t-shirt and then we don't pay for that. Somebody else else is paying with the work, enslaved or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's a kind of cycle that
So
it got to the point where it's too complicated in a way that doesn't align with the human.
Because talking about the course of, probably people are maybe aware of the secret, and you can create everything with your mind. And although I believe that is so important, it's like a powerful thing that we can have, but at the same time you can create things for your own, like I guess I can go and have, let's say, a house with 15 rooms and all the luxury and stuff. It's fine, but it has to come from somewhere. So kind of like in that, I feel like I will lose myself more from it, because I will be disconnected. The more you have, the more disconnection you have from,
Absolutely.
I mean, from the basic things. No, you remove, like, you eat and that's it. You're not hungry.
Absolutely.
Then you have shelter and you're good. But then once you start going up beyond that, is, I guess you.
And that's another realization for me after last night. Another realization is that I don't need that anymore. I don't need to accumulate. And something else, another realization that I had is that the planet, for example, planet Earth, is obviously is habited by human forms with a consciousness, alive with us every single moment, every single instant. And some humans, obviously, a lot of them, they acquire lands which are actually us as well, like the planet is us, the universe is us.
We are, we can.
So that's another realization that people, like a lot of, obviously, when a government owns a country, they owns a country.
Just a surface or whatever happened.
It's just, and that's why I dream of a world where it's based on, like, as you said before, like more greens around us.
I mean, we don't have a fence.
More planet, more planet, rather than artificial
concrete
without
fences and stuff. And the thing is, like, now probably, I don't know if you probably didn't ask that question, but I mean, I'm thinking now, asking you this to you. It's like, does the planet need saving from us? Because since we are, I mean, this is all nothingness. It doesn't need still our help, or?
I think I already, like, there was the first question as well.
Oh, yeah.
There was the first question, I remember. Yeah, because, like, as long as people, the thing is, as long as people take a journey, a spiritual journey, so if you are aware of yourself wanting to find answers, and you find those answers, and you are in a very good, like, step to finding them, searching. Because, like, for me, like, I had my answers last night. Like, many people, the majority of people, they don't have not even a bit of what you have, for example, because you're asking so many profound things about humans' life and planets and stuff. Most of the human, they don't have that, unfortunately. And that's why we live in the world where we are. So it's about having awareness and spreading our knowledge now. And it's so important. Our role, if you want to do DMT as well, you're going to have a role. You're going to see that as a goal now to spread your knowledge in order to save the planet, save the human race in terms of, like, the form.
Yeah, it's something that, I asked the question because I was thinking, I mean, the thing, like, for this, everything created is reality, human reality, but I don't know, I just feel like, we're trying to make an effort, but it's, I don't know if it's necessary, I mean, with so much, but I don't know, what happened if for some reason we destroy this world, we...
Can happen tomorrow. I know that I'm not going to be in fear, for sure.
Because we're going to be...
I'm not going to be in fear. Because I know that even if the world explode, those pieces is us as well.
we are everything. So I
Yes.
guess it's just kind of like we're gonna be floating in space.
Floating, but the consciousness is always alive.
Yeah.
We are not alive. The consciousness is alive.
Mm-hmm.
Many people think, oh, we are humans, we are alive, so good to be alive. What is alive is the consciousness, man. It's not the skin.
No, because this is always
brain.
disintegrating
Yeah,
every
the
single
brain, for example, many people are the power of the mind.
Yeah.
That's tissue. That's
The brain is just tissue, yeah.
the brain is tissue. Then your eyes and your body is absolutely complex. It's unbelievable how it works perfectly. But what is alive is not that.
Yeah, it's the other, the essence of
The consciousness. Because boom, if someone take off, it's impossible, in my opinion. But if someone remove your consciousness from this human, you'd be completely
boom. Yeah, it's a soul or whatever it is.
No, it's just you just don't exist.
It's kind of like taking the software from a computer.
Yes,
and
man. And that's what my
just a piece of
biggest profound realization was this: that we are not this human body. It makes you free. So it's good to now go to the beach, enjoy the sun that I was hugging last night.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And other people go, you are being on the drugs. I say, yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
It's drugs, psychedelics, but psychedelics has been used for thousands of years, and you are reliable to medicines from doctors, stuff like that. Like
this thing that
just
this kind of like, especially for what I see. I mean, I'm pretty open-minded about it. The only thing probably we say that because I mean, it's hard to hear from somebody who's really happy about it. Like, I mean, to be really kind of like without fear and everything. But because we have fear, we don't wanna. I mean, we have fears even like, if you do this, I'm worried that I'm gonna be able to, or not gonna be able to do what I'm doing now because we value this. But
you're gonna be better. You're gonna be better on what you're doing, man. Because I tell you why. You're gonna be better on what you're doing. You know why? Because then you take your life as an enjoyment. Mm-hmm. Like you don't take life as a challenge. Yeah. You don't have deadline. You have deadlines, but it's just an enjoyment. That's what I'm gonna do as well, man. After today, I'm gonna call people that I haven't heard from many times. Like I'm gonna do stuff that I wouldn't even imagine I will do it after last night. And not only that, like my life now is a journey. It's a beautiful journey, and everything I will do is just an enjoyment. I want to start my own business. It's gonna be so enjoyable because I'm gonna be connected with people that I can share my love, and I can share what I have to, say to the universe. And you're gonna be better on that, right?
And I'm thinking of even for you now because.
I'm not high. I'm completely conscious talking to you. I'm not high.
No, this is the thing because even for what I wanted to record is we recorded the last week and it's
I wanna watch both of them. It's so curious.
The thing is, I just wanted to do it because I know you're not a guy who take drugs or it's not like you just
never. Not even once. But when there is a call. Mm-hmm. When there is a call, and only that in the week coming to my ceremony, I had a couple of vivid dreams. I don't know if I mentioned it to you previously, but
I think so. Maybe you mentioned something in Peru with.
I basically had a couple of going to the ceremony. I had a couple of vivid dreams at night where I was dying underwater because someone underwater, like someone broke my brakes of my something happened to the brakes of my car, and then I fell to the airport bridge and I went to the water and I was like dying, and then all in a sudden I just went out from my car and I was just in the surface and I could see this beautiful land and I was so happy. And there was a kind of initiation because I believe, man, the world of spirits, the mother of the universe, they are so loving.
They knew that you were going to be doing it. So
they are so loving that they prepare you. They prepare you and you don't have to fear anything because then if you fear, then it's gonna be more battle.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, the more you fear, and the more Mother Ayahuasca, and that was what's happening with me 3 or 4 times. I was, no, I don't want to believe that. And she did 3 or 4 times. But the more you let it go, the more you surrender, the more you find the love and the answers you're looking for. And so don't be afraid.
No, I'm not. Yeah, definitely not afraid. And also
but if you don't want to do it, just listen to people who did.
No, this is the thing. I mean, I always say I have sort of like sometimes I think that I don't listen to people, but I like to learn from people.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, like, for example,
before and after as well, like it's unbelievable.
Yeah, being a dad now. I mean, I was pretty much into wanting to make money and all the stuff.
Yeah.
But then after, even through third people saying, I know this guy who is a multimillionaire and telling me that the one thing that he regretted the most, he has all the money to take the kids now surfing around the world.
Hey.
But, like the one thing they miss is when they were 4 or 2 or 1 year old. And then I was like, okay, it's something now that it's hard for me, but yeah, we'll be 5 minutes. and then it was something for me that, like, okay, if it's somebody who's actually saying that, and he already got the millions and everything, why would I wanted to go through the experience of making money and then thinking, because I know that thing I can't change. Nova, I spend every day with Nova, mostly like only 2 days she goes to daycare, but these moments I know that I'm never gonna regret spending that time with her now. And I know that she's gonna go to school eventually, and I will have my time for making, if I need to make millions, but I don't feel like I need it.
Man, it's so beautiful because you're already on your path. Like many people, they feel struggling when they have parenthood, stuff. Yeah. What I see from you is that even on a super awakening state where I am right now, which is like I can see that you are already on well beyond what most of the people are at the moment. So you are on your way to find completely. Even if you have like not many answers, like questions, like the one that you have,
Well, the thing is, because what I see is all these fears that I have, and it's always. I mean, even this last probably 2 years, I live in a constant state of anxiety.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm also thinking, even doing that, because every time you say something like that, I mean, sometimes I say, as much as I say I care about money, but not enough to get me away from, my family, or not away from like me stressing myself out. So sometimes when
you had the realization already, very, very good.
But the thing is, because I say, some people, they will say like, maybe it's just a loser mentality, because people who are, the main focus is making the money.
Yes.
And
they forget about what is important.
Yeah, or it's probably in that moment they don't have anything else to lose or whatever, no? But for me, it's like, I'm happy now being able to have the time with Nova and Anika, and being able to go slowly growing, but no sacrificing. I can't see myself without them. So in a way that,
so beautiful.
Yeah, so putting myself at risk of losing everything.
Absolutely. Having a child is like a realization as well. Like it's such a grounding thing for you. So.
So it's awesome, man.
It was unbelievable. As I said, everything I said multiply for 1 million, and that were like, because no words can describe actually. And as I said, maybe the effect of this realization and question. I don't think they're gonna wind off because now
you have to keep doing some.
No, because I don't think they're gonna go off on me, because when you have a question like a mathematical equation and the results.
That's it. Yeah.
There is no other searching.
Yeah, it's like learning to ride the bicycle, and then you don't have to be thinking every day. You just grab a bicycle.
Exactly, and that's why it's so profound. Like I see these people in the Amazon, these shamans. I could see even in my visions as well. This such wisdom, beautiful culture, and that take care of the planet more than we could ever imagine in our society. And they take care of people, and they just do it for the sake of love, not for... They do for money, obviously, because you need to pay for doing these things, but they want to spread the knowledge.
Using, transforming that money into giving it to people, and like you make a change and make decisions.
Make a change in the world.
So I believe, like, I mean, it's not like I don't care about money. I care enough that I want to use it for good. No, I don't want to...
Good purpose, absolutely. The $250 more, like, most very well spent on my life, to be honest. It's just...
And the thing is...
I could pay, like, if I had $50 million, I would pay the same amount to... I'm actually excited to see how... I'm going to look at the world now. I'm going to look at people, what I'm going to do. I'm so excited already. Like,
I'm excited for you because now I can't, like, going to be able to watch your steps. And
exactly. See, you're going to watch me on my journey, and we can share a lot of things together. And
that one just finished. I'm going to press.
One of my favorite instruments that the guy that was playing the music was using is and it was my favorite because he came up to me. I was lying, and he used this kind of circle, and they had these cylinders with these beautiful sounds coming out from there, in a circle, and it felt so good. It felt so good. Music is important during this ceremony because it makes you grounded to the reality. Not to the reality again. Make you grounded to be conscious, but at the same time having the realization. So you can combine the two. You can combine the two.
All right, man. Awesome.
Man, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming straight from there and
absolutely
sharing
it's my
everything.
Pleasure.
So we're gonna have to do a week after, and then it will be
definitely,
because it's good to see the progress of whatever journey is, and and I'm super interested, so it's a matter of time only for me to do it. So
take your time. So when you're ready, whenever you're ready, you will know. No one know but you.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Alex.
Thanks, guys.